Smart business owners know that revenue and profit are two different things. Today, I want to have a real conversation about profit, not revenue, not vanity metrics, not big months like 20K months and 10K months and all that stuff, not what looks good online. Profit. Because revenue feeds your ego, but profit feeds your legacy. Revenue shows the world that you're making money, but profit shows the world that you're keeping the money. And those are two completely different skill sets. So let's talk about why your business might be earning but not profiting. And most importantly, what to do about it. But first, ask yourself two questions. Am I one of those people that brags online when I get 20K and 30K months? And what do I need to do to ensure that I am keeping most of my profits?
Welcome back to another episode of Mogul Chicks Chat. I'm your host, Adrienne Graham. I'm the CEO and proud founder of Mogul Chicks, and that's Chicks with an X. I am a serial entrepreneur and a self made businesswoman who is a strategic business growth advisor, talent management strategist, published author, mentor, investor, and podcast host. Mogul Chicks helps female founders grow and scale profitable, job creating companies and eventually get them investment ready. We also help groom them into dynamic leaders and CEOs and build legacy wealth in the process. Mogul Chicks is a mindset, a way of life, if you will, and a blueprint for female founders who want to build a legacy of wealth and a generational business empire. We provide strategic business growth solutions and a platform for resources, mentoring, networks, education, and media that shares our stories. Our mission is to take your company from flat to profit generating to job creating to investment ready. My personal mission is to help you build and run a better company, reimagine the way you do business, and build lasting wealth. Oh, and before I forget, make sure you tag Mogul Chicks using the hashtag Mogul Chicks Chat on social media. Make sure you rate the show and leave a comment. It helps people find us. Share the love, share the love.
Okay, let's get into it. Revenue is not profit. That's the biggest truth that I want to start with. A business earning 2 million with poor margins is less healthy than a business earning 600,000 with strong margins. Let that sink in for a minute because a lot of founders get seduced by the big numbers. They brag about revenue but whisper about the expenses. They talk about, I've had a 25K month or I had a 50K month, but they don't account for the expenses that they had to shell out to have those big months. Today, let's have a no nonsense moment and let's look at it this way. If you are earning more but keeping less, you don't have a revenue problem. You have a discipline problem. You have a profit problem. Your profit is not a mystery. Profit's not luck. It's not whatever's left over. Profit is a decision. And the CEOs who scale sustainably understand this deeply. So let's talk about why you're not profitable. There are five core reasons a business struggles with profitability. And I want to be brutally honest with you, and I want you to be honest with yourself as you hear them. Reason number one, your pricing is too low. Do you know how many people have come to me to ask me about their pricing and their profitability? If your pricing does not reflect your expertise, overhead, capacity, market demand, transformation, and future scaling needs, then they're too low. That's just the plain and simple truth of it. And underpricing is the fastest way to work yourself into exhaustion. How many people have you seen out there? I'm going to pick on coaches for a minute here. How many people have you seen that says, "Oh, I'll coach you for $150 an hour," and then they find a bunch of clients, and they're like, "Oh, wait, my calendar is booked up, and I make all this money," but they're really not. They're trading all this time for this little bit of money, and they're burning themselves out in the process. So underpricing, yeah, that could lead to disaster. Reason number two, your delivery is too expensive. custom made work, manual work, you as the bottleneck, no automation, over servicing to compensate for undercharging. Delivery shouldn't drain capacity, delivery should increase your profitability. Reason number three, your team structure is inefficient. A bloated team eats your margins. I've seen this time and time again where people will hire all these different categories because they think they need this help, but what they end up doing is bloating out their payroll. A weak team will eat your time as well. Both of them cost money, and your teams need clarity, ownership, the right roles, the right hierarchy, the right skill sets. Otherwise, you're burning your profit on inefficiency. You know I can help you with that. We'll talk about staffing another time. Reason number four, your operations are chaotic. The lack of systems equal lack of profits. It's as simple as that. If everything is custom, if everything is manual, if everything requires you as the deliverer, your expenses skyrocket. Even if they're not showing up on paper, your time is expensive, your energy is an expense, your capacity is an expense, and time leakage kills your profitability, point blank. Reason number five, you are investing emotionally and not strategically in your business. This is huge. How many times have you guys talked about my baby? My business is my baby. No, it is not your baby. It's not a living thing. It is not a breathing entity. It is a tool for legacy building. And this is big because you buy tools that you don't need, of course. Go High Level, Honeybook, all these other ones. And I'm not saying they're not good. What I'm saying is when you start buying all these tools that you don't need, y'all need to speak to my girl Kronda. She is the efficiency expert on tools. The courses you buy that you don't finish. If I see another person complain, I bought all these courses, I haven't had time to finish. That means you're just doing too much. Stop buying all those courses and start making sure you hire people to help you put things into action. You get coaches that duplicate support, that don't come through for you and don't put you in the right path that you need to be in. Now y'all know I have kind of like my issue with coaches and things like that, but a lot of them are so unnecessary and they are wasteful. You need to find coach. If you're going to use a coach, you need to find one that's qualified and experienced in where you've been and where you're trying to go. You put out random offers. Now I'm not the offer queen. I don't like to talk about the offers and things like that because, you put out what you feel you can sell. But putting all these different offers in, it gives people whiplash and it makes them unstable or uneasy in buying from you because they think you're unstable. Software subscriptions, again, is so unnecessary. Find you a multi-purpose subscription that does just about everything you need. Stop paying all that money into things you're probably not going to use or use very rarely. And then temporary band-aids. You can't put a temporary band-aid on a problem. You have to get to the root of the issue in order to fix it. Otherwise, they cause money leaks. Not because your business needs them, but because they make you feel temporarily in control. That's what makes your profit die when your emotions take the wheel. So, yeah, start thinking strategically, not emotionally. So, let's talk about the profit levers, the ones you must pull. So, these are the same ones I teach in my consulting and at the roundtable masterminds that we have and things like that. And in every high level strategy session with a client, there are five levers that increase profit predictably. Lever one, raise your prices, point blank. Now, let me caveat that for a minute, give you a disclaimer. There are people out here loud and wrong going up to my look at Tiffany. They charge $1,200 for a paperclip. You can charge whatever you want. No, you can't. You need to charge what the market will bear, and you need to charge what is applicable to the results that you can guarantee your clients. Okay? Not impulsively, not emotionally, but you raise them strategically based on a true cost, your market value, client ROI, operational capacity, which is what I just said. A price increase, when done correctly, increases profitability instantly. Trust me on that. Lever number two, streamline your offer. The more complicated your offer is, the less profitable it is. Simplicity equals margins, y'all. Ask yourself what can be removed, what can be automated, what can be delegated, what is unnecessary. Clean offers make money. Chaotic offers crash your margins. I don't want to see those long 12-page offer pages or landing pages or whatever you call them. Just get simple. Be simple. Let people know what you got, what you can do, how it helps them, and what the end result will be. Don't put too much extra stuff in those offers. Lever number 3, tighten your delivery process. Every messy step in your delivery is eating up your profit. You have to, like I said in a previous episode, document it, systematize it, delegate it, automate it. Your delivery should be so clean that your team can execute without asking you 57 questions in an hour. Margins come from efficiency, y'all. Lever number 4, build a financially aligned team. Ooh, listen, that is, you talking a word now. This means that you hire based on strategy. You review performance quarterly because if you have a weak member of your team, you have to either help them improve or get rid of them. Eliminate redundancy. Why do you need an assistant for marketing and an assistant to manage your calendar and an assistant to answer calls? No, don't do that. Eliminate that need to have multiple people. Get one strong person to do everything that they need to do within reason and pay them accordingly. Clarify your responsibilities for your employees. The biggest time suck is an employee who does not know where they need to go, what they need to do, and has no guidance from the CEO. And use fractional talent wisely. So let me touch on that really quickly because I have a thing. Now I place my company places fractional talent, but I see a lot of people out here telling me I have a fractional CMO or I have a fractional CFO. Stop it. Stop it. You know when you're ready to have those because these are heavy hitters that come in with years of experience that can come in and turn your entire damn company around. Not these people on the internet playing like they're professionals and saying, oh, well, I've been an admin for so long and now I'm ready to be a COO. No, that's not how that works. Get your fractional talent fully vetted and make sure that you're compensating them accordingly, especially for what they will deliver for your company. So let me just recap really quickly. Every hire should either increase your revenue, your money making team, protect your revenue, your money making team, and reduce your operational costs. Your money making team can do that. If they don't do one of these three, the role is unnecessary. Lever number 5, enforce spending discipline. That goes for you and your team members. Your expenses should not exceed your strategy. Ask yourself every month these 4 questions. Does this expense make us money? If it's no, get rid of it. Does it save us money? If it doesn't, get rid of it. Does it increase capacity? If it doesn't, you guessed it, get rid of it. And does it improve performance? If it doesn't, get rid of it. If the answer is no to any of these questions, cut it. Profit is intentional, it's not accidental. Okay. So there's something called CEO math, and every CEO must master this math. So let me shift into strategic advisement mode for a moment. Here's the math every CEO must know. CAC, which is customer acquisition costs. You have to know what it costs to acquire every single customer that you have. Okay. The next is the lifetime value of a customer. You need to know how much this customer has the potential to bring you in over the lifetime of their engagement with you. Margin targets for your net and your gross, non negotiable, because gross doesn't give you the right, accurate picture of what's going on. Only your net can. Your churn rate, that's self explanatory. If you don't know what that is, look it up. Your burn rate, that's how fast you burn through your money. And this is a conversation that I have when people get funding because that burn rate, they don't pay attention to that. Your cash conversion cycle, how long does it take and how often does it take for the cash to come through? And then your break even point. Your break even point doesn't mean, oh, phew, we survived. That means, okay, this is where our expenses and our income have balanced out. But you got to go above and beyond just your break even. You don't need to become an accountant. You don't need to love spreadsheets because Lord knows I hate them. But you do need to love clarity. Because CEOs who scale know their numbers the same way great chefs know flavors, intuitively, precisely, and confidently, the numbers tell you everything. When to invest, when to pull back, when to hire, when to cut, when to launch, when to pause. So, knowing your numbers is knowing your power. Remember that. Stop being afraid to look at it. And here's another part of it. I don't ever want to hear another one of you say, "Oh, I don't have to worry about that. I gave it to my accountant." You need to know every single number, every single dime that comes in and leaves out of your business. You need to know the potential. You need to sit down at least quarterly with your accountant, your CPA, financial advisor, whoever it is, and get those numbers clear. So let's move on to the internal shift that creates profit. Here's the part nobody warns you about when you start your businesses. Profit doesn't come from more effort. It really doesn't. It comes from more ownership. That's ownership of your pricing, your boundaries, your leadership, your identity, your decisions, and your standards. Profit is a reflection of the CEO. And if you can't be profitable, if you're in a Fortune 500 company and your company is constantly losing money every quarter and you're never profitable, what are they going to do? They're going to fire that CEO. So here's what I want you to remember. A profitable business led by a woman who is not afraid to charge what she's worth, say no when necessary, enforce policies, simplify everything, delegate what she must, measure performance and improvement and the dollars and cents of the business, and improve where she can. That's one of the things that people kind of shy away from. They're like, well, this worked for me and I could do this and I don't have to change. No, everything can stand a little bit of improvement. Okay. Profit is leadership skill, it's not a math problem. Okay. So if your business is making money, but you're struggling to keep the money, this is your turning point, I hope. Today is the day you stop tying your worth to revenue and start tying your leadership to profit. Remember this, if nothing else. Remember that revenue makes you visible, profit makes you powerful. And then when we have both of those, we can build powerful companies. So, where can you tighten up today? And what are you struggling with that can help you to be profitable as a company?
I'm Adrienne Graham, CEO and founder of Mogul Chicks, and this has been another Mogul Chicks chat. I want to help you build a better, more profitable company. Make sure you check out the other episodes, and if you like what you hear, share the love. Pass the link on to your friends. You can find this podcast wherever podcasts are streamed, and of course on the Mogul Chicks website. Make sure you subscribe, and if you do, leave a comment on any or all of the channels. It helps other people find the podcast too. Sharing is caring. For more information about how we work with you to grow and scale your company, visit us online at mogulchicks.com, send an email to contact@mogulchicks.com, or you can connect with us all over social media at Mogul Chicks. And remember, that's Mogul Chicks with an X. If you're not yet part of the Mogul Circle, if you're doing over $1 million in revenue annually, what are you waiting for? There's so much value in memberships and the community. If you prefer a good program or trying to move beyond startup phase, check out the Mogul Chicks Academy at mogulchicksacademy.com. I'll catch you on the next episode. And remember, Mogul Chicks are always a step ahead of the crowd and they're always closing deals. Mogul Chicks make mogul moves and power plays. Your move. Now go be profitable. Bye.